Yo, what is up, Broncos country? How's it going tonight, guys? Before we get into everything about today's game and getting onto all of our comments and everything we want to talk about tonight, could you guys please like, comment, subscribe on this video? Also hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. Share this with your friends, your family, anybody that's a Broncos fan or football fans in general. Like during the off season, and sometimes during the season, we'll talk about other teams and other things that are going on in the NFL. But please share this with anybody you can so we can get more subscribers in here. But now on to the whole topic of tonight's video, the Broncos versus Chargers gut reaction. Mohammed, what was your gut reaction to the game today?
Eddie, before I go into that, I honestly, I just want to say that we kind of like, I don't know if we kind of like lied to ourselves, Eddie. We created this reality or this lie that the Broncos are really good and the Broncos have the elite defense and we have uh, Coach Sean Payton and we have this and we're going to do this. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. All these things we kept hyping it, and Sean Payton is responsible for that too because he kept saying it. He kept saying all these things about we're going to be a problem. We are the problem actually. But having said all that, Eddie, I might just start with all these penalties, with this game. I mean, it was extremely frustrating. It's like being in a roller coaster, seriously. Like you watch the game and they're not playing well, and then all of a sudden they start scoring, and I get excited. I'm like, oh my God, look at this, and we're ahead, and then we come and we lose. It's the same old story. Like, what difference did it make by us getting Sean Payton? I don't get it. Okay, the too many penalties. Well, we were talking about before we went live. Over 100 yards. The penalty that really pissed me off was Hufanga. That was just a dumb penalty. Like, why would you do that? Giving him 15 yards. Remember that call, Eddie? Yeah, 15 yards. That
Yeah.
really ticked me off. But then Bonix did not play well. I understand he had some missed throws and stuff, but Sean Payton wasn't helping him neither with this weird play calling. He gets aggressive when he should be conservative. Then he gets conservative when he should be aggressive. Just up and down, up and down. And then same thing that happened last week. We could have won this game. We had the lead, but come to the fourth quarter and we just I don't know, we get scared or whatever the case is, but we lose. The thing is, Eddie, I don't like all these things we kept telling ourselves about us going to the Super Bowl and all this stuff. It's just not gonna happen. Okay. I don't honestly want them to win any games, any more games. We need a lot of talent. We need to do that in free agency. We're gonna have the cap to help us next season. We're gonna need to go on the draft and get some real talent. Something is missing with this team. I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my hands around it. But if you ask me, I think it's the coaching, 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 coaching. I mean, that's what it comes down to. The coaching just sucks, Eddie. You know. But to me, what's gonna happen this season? We're gonna beat the teams that are not good, terrible teams. We're gonna win 7, 8 games. I don't know. Maybe we'll make the playoffs. It doesn't look like it, but we'll do. We're gonna go lose in the first round. If that's gonna be the case, let's not win, please, because we are gonna need to be drafting some players. There's serious things that needs to be addressed. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, Eddie. We're gonna go. We're gonna play against the Bengals. You see how they lost I think they were beat like 40 points, 42 points or something. Yeah, we're gonna go over there. I bet you we're gonna win. We're gonna score 3 or 4 touchdowns. You're gonna be like, oh my God, look at our Broncos. BS. The week after that, we go to the Eagles. We're gonna lose. If we're playing a good team, the way we're playing, we are going to lose. So let's not kid ourselves in saying that we're going to the Super Bowl. This team needs a lot of work.
Now comes the time that everybody's been waiting
Now
for in this video.
I give you the mic, Eddie. Go ahead.
Here we go. All right. Now, first, I want to address all of the comments that Sean Payton has said over the 3 years since he's been with Denver. The first year, what was it he said in the offseason, Mohammed? Oh, I'm going to be pissed off if this team doesn't make the playoffs. That was the first year with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. Last year, in Bo Nix's rookie year, he was like, I'd be upset, or I think he said, I'd be upset if this wasn't a playoff team, which they did make the playoffs. I'll give them that. This year, Sean Payton just talks out of his mouth like, oh, this is a really good team. We can make a deep playoff run, all this, that, and the other. Dude, what the friggity frack? Greenlaw. Now, Greenlaw was out, and we knew he was going to be out. But the thing is like we just saw him, or Sean, or the Broncos, whoever, a couple of days ago put Dre Greenlaw on short-term IR. We've been saying this since freaking preseason.
Yep.
Put him on short-term IR. Like, he didn't hardly practice at all during training camp. He didn't play in the preseason at all. He hasn't played in the first 3 weeks. But then you wait 4 or 3 weeks into the season to throw him on short-term IR where he is going to be now out a minimum of 4 weeks. Like, you're not going to see him until the Giants game. And the middle linebacking room is atrocious on the Broncos. Like, Strnad, he's like the one shining beacon. I love Singleton. I really do. To me, he's going to be a Bronco for life. And I said this last year whenever he tore his ACL in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, and he finished the game on a torn ACL. Like, he's a Bronco for life, but he's over 30. He's coming off that injury. It takes about 2 years for that injury to be fully healed. Well, Singleton, like, he's missing tackles. You know, he can't keep up with guys. So it was an all-around bad game. But now I want to get into the, meat and potatoes of this freaking video tonight. And that is the coaching staff. Now, I've been hearing all day since the game ended, Bo Nix overthrew people, it was this, the penalties, the refs, all this stuff, blaming other things. I'm sorry. It was the coaching. Sean Payton and Vance Joseph are not good. Well, I shouldn't say that. Vance Joseph's not good. Sean Payton is all right, but he's not the coach that we thought we were getting from New Orleans. He's not that guy. And I don't know what it is. I seriously have no idea what the hell it is. What has happened to Sean Payton? Like, has everybody in the NFL and in the media just overhyped this guy? And he's really not that great of a coach? Did Drew Brees really make Sean Payton? Because I'm starting to freaking believe that crap. These last 2 weeks have been on Sean Payton 100%. Just not being aggressive, penalties. Like, people want to say, well, the players are the ones on the field that, get the penalties. I'm like, yes, that is true. But what was the one thing we remember hearing all through 2022 when Hackett was freaking head coach? Whenever we kept getting penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty, it was coaching. Coaching matters. The coaches are supposed to get this stuff out of the players. They're supposed to be making these players disciplined to where they don't do stuff like that. Like, Sean Payton seems like he's failed in that regard so far this season. Like, it's horrible. 100 yards of freaking penalties today. And granted, we still almost won the game. And Sean Payton's play calling, dude, I'm getting so sick of this crap. His play calling is atrocious. Like, there's no creativity. You hardly ever see motion in his offense. Like, Bo Nix constantly dropping back. Now, today, I understood the run game got stuffed early in the game. And I've said this in the past. I'm like, if one portion of the, offense, whether if it's the run game or the pass game, is getting stopped constantly, and the other side's working a little bit more, go to that other thing. So he did go to the passing more today, which I'm fine with, because the run game was getting stuffed until the second half. Then they really started clicking and getting out there. But Sean Payton's play calling is just downright atrocious. It's horrible. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Yes, I understand. Bo Nix underthrew a few receivers today. I think one was like Franklin or Mims, and one was Cortland Sutton. But we gotta be realists here. Like, you literally, I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. What is wrong with Sean Payton's play calling? Why is he not, having more motion? Why is he? And today the offensive line was getting blown up. Like, this is like, whenever that's happening, quick, easy passes, little hitches, drag routes, slant routes, something like that to get the ball out quick. And the other thing that makes me mad is Sean Payton on offense. Like, first and second down, he's like, conservative. Let's throw screen routes. Let's run right up the freaking middle. And then whenever it's like third and freaking forever, It's like, okay, now let's drop back and, pass the ball more than 10 yards downfield. Like, there's no creativity on this offense at all. Like, and today, like, I've seen it again. I've seen it a few times this year. There was a play. It was a screen pass. They literally threw the screen, and there was literally nobody. There was one player out there blocking, and that was it. And there was like two other guys out there. Like, literally, I think it was Franklin that caught it. Literally had nowhere to go. Nowhere. What are these play calls? And then it's like 3 years ago with, like I said, Nathaniel Hackett again, where they're having to burn a timeout. They did it last week. They did it this week, where they had to burn a timeout because the play clock was at 2 and they weren't set or ready. Like, I'm having deja vu here, man. This is getting ridiculous. Like, Sean, you need to do something. Like, and people are saying, oh, Sean needs to give up play calling. Or they're asking the question, should Sean give up play calling? I'm like, no. Sean's, like, we brought Sean in, yes, to fix the team, but also to be the offensive genius we thought we were getting. That's the reason why we're paying him so much money. Because we thought, okay, Sean Payton's going to come in, he's going to fix his team, he's going to get it right, and he's going to be the offensive play caller. We're going to be seeing a lot more fun plays downfield. We're going to be seeing this, great Sean Payton offense that had, like, I think, like, in his 13 years, had, like, 9 seasons, I think it was, or maybe less. I can't remember off the top of my head. Seasons where they were, like, the leading in scoring points, the Saints offense with Sean Payton's, offense. We're not seeing that here, and I don't know what it is. But to me, if you tell Sean Payton to give up play calling, just get rid of Sean Payton.
Yeah.
At that point, just get rid of him. Because that's one of the main attractions that brought him to Denver was, one, fix the team, and
Eddie, you're breaking up.
if Sean Payton is not the offensive play caller, I say just get rid of him. Fire him. Bring in somebody that can actually call freaking plays, man.
Eddie, I want to say something. So with this whole thing with Sean Payton, I'm beginning to think that maybe he's not the coach. Maybe it's not, or maybe we're just panicking. Maybe it's too early. But my fear is if we go ahead and we start winning some games and we lose some, and let's say we make the playoffs or we don't. I mean, maybe we get close to it. We win one game or we lose. We go to the next season. It's the same thing. It's not getting any better. Then year 3, we're like, okay, this is not working. Fire Sean Payton. Then what are we going to do with Bo Nix? You bring in another coach, and then that coach is like, well, Bo Nix is not the quarterback I want. And then we go into this cycle again, and I'm really tired. And I know Broncos country is tired. I mean, something got to happen, man. I would hate for this to be the situation, Eddie. But it seems like it might be heading that way.
I don't know, man. Like, you got Andy Reid, you got Pete Carroll, you got Jim Harbaugh in the division now. I don't want to say Sean Payton's the worst coach in this division because I don't think he is yet. But if we keep having these same freaking things happen week in and week out, and this offense looks like it does with the play calling and the penalties, then I have to say yes. That was the other thing. If Sean Payton's not cleaning up the penalties, like if he's not making this team disciplined, having this team ready to go, he's not calling offensive plays, then what the hell is he doing here? What's the point of having Sean Payton if you take play calling away from him and he doesn't have this team ready to go and they're committing penalties on a weekly basis like they are? There's no point to keeping around a head coach like that at that point. So I'd say don't pull the play calling away. Either Sean Payton's got to get better. Either he needs to get better at play calling or he needs to be fired. That's the only two things I see out of this. You can't be like,
but Eddie,
go ahead.
He's not going to give it up. His ego, no way, and nobody's going to convince him to give up the play calling. He's not going to do that. No way.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the thing is, Eddie, I honestly don't know what it is. I don't know if the offense that he's trying to, or the play calling is too complicated for the offense because it's still young and experienced. I don't know.
He said Bo Nix was, he was getting the play calls down. He was getting faster at it this offseason. That's what Peyton said about Bo Nix. But that's not I don't think that's the problem. The problem is Sean Payton's creativity. Like today, I didn't see like a whole lot of motion. I didn't see a lot of, just trying to get the defense, on its heels and getting them rolling back. Like the defense knew it was coming before the freaking play even happened. Like if it was a run up the middle, defense broke through, they knew it. I mean, the offensive line didn't play well, but it's like, okay, Sean, if you know the run's not working because they're getting in there with the offensive line, like I said, do short passes, slants, drag, something. But no, he's like throwing screens. He's throwing, flat routes to the running back.
He loves the screens for whatever reason. He loves the screens.
And it's so freaking infuriating, man. I don't know what more to say about it. But yeah, if you take play calling away from Sean, you might as well just get rid of him. There's no point in keeping him if he ain't calling plays. That was one of the big reasons why we brought him here.
Eddie, we got to admit though that the O line took a step back from last season.
Definitely. The O line, freaking Wattenberg was getting torched all day. I think Ben Powers was getting torched all day. I don't know, man. Like there's some, and that's the other thing that kind of ticked me off about this offseason. Like, okay, you go out, you get Talanoa Hufanga, you get Dre Greenlaw, you get Evan Ingram. Dre Greenlaw at this point to me, early in the season, he's already a bust. I hate saying that. I mean, he's a great player when he's on the field, but what do they say, Muhammad? The best ability is availability.
Yep.
And he has not been on the field. So to me, I understand we haven't paid him a whole lot of money, but that was a bust so far. Unless he comes back and has a baller season whenever he finally gets back, week, I think 7, then I have to say it's a bust. Hufanga has been pretty good. Like, I can't, he's been healthy. He's been on the field. He's been kind of, making good tackles, making plays. So I can't complain about Hufanga. But oh my God. Evan Ingram is hurt. Okay, he's hurt. I understand that. That's fine. But what was the one thing we kind of talked about on the show during the offseason, Muhammad? They need to get depth behind Evan Ingram. He goes down, then you're back to the same tight end room you had last year.
Noah Fant was there. Nobody, they didn't even bother.
That too.
They were good.
You could have brought him in as just like a security thing. Like, hey, Evan Ingram goes down, you still got this guy. But this, and I'm not bashing the kid because I like him. I think he's going to be good in this league. JD Barrett. Why the hell did you take a corner in the first round when you had tight end sitting there?
I was about to say the same thing when the game was going on and I saw him. I'm like, did we make the right decision?
I don't think we did. Like I said, this ain't me bashing on Barron. Barron's going to be a great player in this league. But it's like, dude,
it's not we didn't need him.
We need depth behind our starters.
Yeah.
And you do. Sean Payton had to know. I mean, he's not completely stupid. Hey, if Ingram goes down, we don't really have a reliable tight end. Like the very first pass of the game, Kroll hits him in the hands. He drops the damn ball. Now, yes, I understand it was a little bit out of reach. It was a little bit out of reach. But what do they say? If it hits your hands, you got to catch it.
Yeah.
I wish they would have freaking drafted Warren or Loveland or somebody, a tight end in the first freaking round, dude.
Even if we had to trade up, sometimes you have to do that. You have to pay to get that talent. We didn't do that.
Warren, I'm pretty sure Warren was there at 20 whenever we were drafting. We could have took him. Look what he's doing for the Colts. Or maybe he wasn't. Maybe I'm just saying.
No, I think he was picked at 15. What was our pick again, Eddie? 19 or 18, something like that?
Our pick was 20, so yeah. I'm just saying, you had so many tight ends. This year's draft was loaded with tight ends. You could have took one.
I think Fanning went on a second or third round. He's okay too. He's decent.
Yeah. Technically, they did take a tight end in the 7th round, that loner kid. But he's on the practice squad because he's only played not even a year's full worth of football in college. So he was a basketball player. But still, they should have took a tight end in the earlier rounds. They should have took a tight end in round 1 or round 2 and then took a running back in the other round. But whatever. And that's the thing. Harvey hasn't even been really used that much. I mean, he's out there, but you don't. I see him more on special teams than I do see him on offense. And Evan Ingram, even when he was out there on the field, Sean Payton talked all this crap during I got my joker. Evan Ingram's going to be Dude, you weren't even including him in the offense when he was on the damn field. I've hardly seen Evan Ingram at all this year. We heard all throughout training camp, oh, Bo Nix's connection with Evan Ingram was great. And then the season starts, you don't see jack shit from him. The best play Evan Ingram has had as a Denver Bronco was, I think, in, what was it? Was it week 2 against the Cardinals in the preseason? That first pass, Bo Nix rolls out to the, I think the right, hits Evan Ingram for, like 5-6 yards downfield, and Evan Ingram takes it for like 50 yards. That was the best play he's had all freaking year, and that was in preseason. Oh my God, dude.
Eddie, I think Sean Payton had a certain image or imagination of what this offense or what this team would look like, but when it came to the reality, it was not what he expected, because he seemed to be a little bit confused too, if you ask me. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he comprehends what's going on, honestly. He's confused himself.
I think he's got Alzheimer's. That's just me. But
hey, you said it. I said it.
Anyway, but you kind of touched on it. It was like, oh no, I'm not you. I was talking to someone earlier. They're like, I don't understand why on that second to last drive, yet again this week, that second to last drive. I talked about it last week. Whenever it was the second to last drive for the Broncos, it was 3rd and forever. They were in field goal range, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to make Bo Nix drop back and throw the ball." He drops back, throws the ball. His arm gets hit. It gets picked off, and the Broncos leave 3 points on the board. That really could have probably helped them at the end of the game, because they could have been up 8 and really put the pressure on Daniel Jones and the Colts. This week, it's like it was 4th and inches on your second to last drive. You were still up 20-13 at that point. Granted, yes, I understand you're in your, you're in your own, territory, but knowing that this defense has had its struggles throughout the year, why didn't you go for it? Like, yeah, I understand. Oh, well, you're in your own territory. You go for it on 4th and you don't get it, you're going to lose, and you're up by 7. Okay. If you go up, even if that were the case, like they were shutting them down on, defense there for a while, like kicking nothing but field goals for the Chargers. Maybe the defense gets to stop, or maybe they do score a touchdown, but you still got plenty of time left. I mean, I guess it really wouldn't matter because Sean Payton's play calling was atrocious, but it's like, go for it, dude. Be aggressive.
Only 1 yard.
Yeah.
I honestly wanted him to go for it too.
That's my problem. Like, he gets so conservative on 1st and 2nd down. It's like, I got to run. I got to throw a screen pass on 1st and 2nd down. And then whenever it's 3rd and freaking 9, knowing that, it's not really looking too good today on offense-ish. You're getting a lot of penalties. You're like, okay, keep doing that. And then whenever it's 3rd and long, try to throw the ball. No one's probably not going to get it. Because the Chargers defense has been stout all day. I can't. Sean Payton just really bugs me, dude. We should have won last week and we should have won this week. We were up. We had the game won, and then coaching let us down. Now, before we get into the comments here, guys, me and Muhammad got to talk about the defensive side of the ball. And this is where I'm going to go on record right now and say Vance Joseph needs to be freaking fired now. Muhammad, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, Eddie, I hear what you're saying. I don't think I would actually say that. He needs to get better, definitely. But even if that was the case, Sean Payton is not going to do it. He did not do it when they scored, the Dolphins scored 70 on us. I mean, I can't believe I'm actually saying that out loud, seeing how they're playing now. But he didn't do it then. I honestly thought the next day, all Broncos country thought that Vance Joseph's going to get fired. But he's not going to do it. Why? Because Sean Payton's not doing a good job at coaching himself, for him to go and say something about what VJ is doing. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Eddie, but it's just not going to happen.
It needs to happen. If Sean's got to make a change. He can't keep going like this all season. The owners are not going to allow it to happen. The fan base is not going to allow it to happen. Like, the owners have put too much time and money and resources into this team. Sean Payton talking about building a new stadium, getting rid of Russ, and the fans have dealt with this shit for 10 years. Something's going to have to give. And 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a freaking row. And honestly, the defense, they played well in the first game. That's all I'll give them. And it was against a rookie quarterback, against one of the worst teams in the league, the Titans, that literally hardly have any freaking talent on it. And then you let Daniel Jones and the Colts come back and beat you. Let Jonathan Taylor rush for 165 yards. Today, you had it. All you had to do is make one more stop. And I understand the defense is probably tired because Sean Payton's offense wasn't really doing its job. But it's like, dude, you've been making stops all day. You couldn't just make one more. Like that last drive for the Chargers, dude, they literally, like, what was it? 4 plays. They were already in field goal range.
Yeah.
He plays
like, was clearly tired.
I think they're tired, and Vance Joseph's constantly playing preventative defense. It looks like corners off, safety's back too far back. It's like, dude, you got to protect. You can't let them get yards.
They're very conservative,
especially when the offense is humming. Like I would rather them just beat us deep, on maybe 1 or 2 plays, save some time. But it's like, dude, you literally play so far back that they literally got all this room up front to catch the ball, pick up the first down, keep the chains moving. I'd rather get burnt on 1 play or 2 plays than sit there and let them nickel and dime us to death. Get down the field. They had all 3 timeouts. They had 2 minutes left to go. Like, come on, Joseph, be more aggressive. Like, he did blitz a little bit more, but it's like his defensive style is just not what we need. He needs to go, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts on it, Muhammad? And we'll get into these comments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Eddie. I think the biggest problem with the defense is the linebackers. That would make a difference. If Greenlaw is there, Eddie, I think it will be a little bit different. Even if they struggle, they're not going to be this bad. But my concern really is the penalties, just not disciplined at all. And then I would say with the offense is that they're not starting quickly, and that's what something Sean Payton kept saying, that we need to start quickly. We need to start quickly. We have to do this. And they just come out, and they're all just nonchalant. And that's coaching, Eddie. That's definitely coaching. I mean, we're saying this, Eddie. I'm thinking, what if we don't win any more games? What if we go, we just keep losing until the end? Do you think the owners will pull the plug and say, hey, Sean Payton, you're fired?
It's possible. I'm not going to say anything that it's not possible, because I think it is. Like, yes, the offense looked good last week against the Colts. They scored 28 points, which should have been enough to win the game, but it wasn't. Vance Joseph let this this defense let us down. They couldn't stop Daniel Jones. And I wanted to say this real quick too, Muhammad, is that think about all the good defensive coordinators out there. I guarantee you a lot of them would kill to have this job with the talent they have. With Surtain, with Moss, with Hufanga, with Brandon Jones, with the defensive line, with Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper, John Franklin Myers, Zach Allen, DJ Jones. They would kill McMillan, Barron. They would kill to have this defensive roster. And I guarantee you there's defensive coordinators out there that would have got a stop today, and the Broncos would have won. I can't say that for VJ. I can't. I see him do it too many times when he was the head coach and whenever he was the last couple of years. When the Broncos desperately need a stop, usually they don't get it. More times than not, they don't get the stop, and the Broncos wind up losing. So
maybe Sean Payton will do it on the offseason and fire him, maybe get another coach. If one he really likes become available.
Maybe. I don't know. But I think it'd be smart to do it during the season, especially if we keep having freaking problems like this where the defense can't get a stop. Just one stop, and then boom, we win the game. But the last thing I wanted to touch on, Muhammad, was that the fact that they said Vance Joseph, horrible defensive game plan. Players would kill, or coaches would kill to have this position. But I understand the whole inside linebacker thing. I really do. But that's where we got to get back to the depth. Like, you need depth. Now, I understand the last couple of years I've had the Russell Wilson debacle. They're still paying him this year. This is the last year. But it's like, you need depth. And why in God's green earth? Like, it's been 2 months, Muhammad, since Greenlaw got hurt during training camp. He was out all of training camp after that, basically out for preseason, out for the first 3 games. Why don't you go, like you said last week, Mom? Why don't you go trade for somebody? Why don't you go sign somebody in the free agency market? Singleton he's coming back from an ACL. He's got a broken hand. He's not really tackling that great, which is his big thing, his cornerstone is tackling. He can't really do it that well. And he's still coming back from the ACL injury. Go out and sign somebody or trade for somebody to help over the middle. I'm not saying they're going to be otherworldly. You're going to find the next diamond in the rough at middle linebacker, but someone that can help. Like this middle linebacking group is getting freaking just stonewalled every week. And it's ridiculous. So, I don't know, man. Something's got to change, dude.
Eddie, this whole thing with Greenlaw, honestly, I think the ego was the problem because they probably figured that he's not going to be any good. Like he's hurt. He's not going to be ready. And instead of putting him in IR, they just kept telling us, no, he's going to come back. And now you're going to put him in IR, which is something we've been saying for 3-4 weeks, even during playoffs. During the preseason, we're saying that just go ahead and put him in IR and let's deal with the problem. We made a gamble and we did not win. We only knew he had these issues, getting hurt. So.
But that's the Broncos for you. They never. It doesn't seem like they really want to think ahead and maybe try something else because they're just trying to outsmart themselves. And the last thing I want to touch on is next week we got the Bengals Monday Night Football. I'm not confident we're going to win that game. I know Joe Burrow's out. I know he's out. I know their defense ain't that great, but this team cannot close out games. It doesn't matter how bad the other team is. If your team's not, disciplined and sound enough to not get penalties, then you're going to lose. If you get that many penalties for that many yards, 10 times, most of the time you're going to lose. So
I think they're going to win. They might even blow out the Bengals because of their situation, Eddie, but it would not matter because it's not really a good team. Their quarterback is out. They don't have any defense to say, but even if they win, we're going to get all excited. Oh my God, we won and stuff. And then what's going to happen the week after that when we play the Eagles?
I'm not saying they're going to lose. I'm not saying that by any stretch. I'm just saying, it wouldn't surprise me if they lost next week. I'm not going to be sitting there like, oh my God, we seriously just lost to the Bengals without Joe Burrow and they have a crappy defense. Yeah. So, but we're over 30 minutes, Muhammad. We got a bunch of comments in here tonight, so we better get on to them before we can get out of here. First up, we got Michael Ronquillo. He's like 29 first downs for the loss. Yeah, real great defense you got there, Vance Joseph. You stupid son of a. But what are your thoughts of this, Mohammed?
Yeah, I'm actually lost for words, Eddie. I mean, they were they played way better than we did. Our defense, and like I said, Eddie, now all the teams, they all know the weaknesses in our defense. So that's what's going to keep happening. They all know. Last week they saw the blueprint to how to beat this Denver supposedly elite defense, and now all there's OCs out there. That's what they're going to do, Eddie. They got to go look at those games and figure out how to beat us, and they will until we make changes.
The Chargers had 106 yards rushing today.
Yep.
Justin Herbert had 300 yards of offense. Or he had 300 yards, I'm sorry. 28 for 47. He had a 59.7 or 57 completion percentage. 1 TD, 1 interception. He was sacked 5 times, and his passer rating was 76.55. Now, let's look at Bo's. Bo, 14 for 25, 153 yards, 56 completion percentage, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 2 sacks, 87 passer rating. So Bo Nix had all-around better numbers-ish for how many times he passed compared to Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert passed over 40 times. Bo Nix only 25 times. Bo Nix had better numbers than Justin Herbert. He didn't throw an INT. He had 2 sacks, Bo Nix did. Justin Herbert had 6.
6.
We rushed for 118 yards today. 83 from Dobbins, 33 from Bo Nix, 2 from RJ Harvey. So I don't know what more to say to that, dude. It's freaking insane. Like you got like run the ball against Denver and you're gonna win. And which is exactly what the freaking I think the Bengals are gonna do because they lost today because Jake Browning was not playing good. They're probably gonna run the ball and it's possible they win next week. So
if that happens, Eddie, I will begin to really worry, honestly.
With Sean Payton's horrible freaking play calling, the penalties issue, and the fact that you just run the ball easily on this defense, I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't say it's impossible for the Bengals to beat us next week on Monday Night Football, even without Joe Burrow. But next up, we got another one here from Michael Ronquillo. No more screenplays from Sean Payton, period. Yeah, I agree.
He can't help himself.
Like I was saying, first down, you can almost guarantee it's either going to be a run up the middle or screen pass. Second down, same thing, either run up the middle or screen pass. And then whenever those don't work and you're sitting at 3rd and 10 still, or 3rd or longer, maybe 3rd and 9, what does Sean Payton do? Tries to throw the deep ball because he has to pick up all the yards to keep the chains moving. Like, if the run up the middle doesn't work, run outside, maybe pass, slants. If the screens ain't working, which they obviously weren't today, screens, drags, hitches, posts, something different. Come on. Like, it's like the Chargers knew it was coming before it even happened. I knew it was coming before it even happened. I was sitting there looking, I see a bunch of receivers over on the right or left side. I'm like, screenplay. Sure enough, screenplay. Yep. Whenever I see them line up in that I formation, Bo Nix, under center, fullback, running back, 2 wide receivers, run up the middle. What happens? Run up the middle. Nothing to maybe do a play fake, give Bo Nix down.
Yeah, nothing exotic, man. It's crazy.
Take a shot downfield, maybe have some guy, maybe a jet sweep or something, or have a guy just run across, act like you're going to hand it off to him or something like that, or maybe have the fullback go out and do like a wheel route or some shit. Nope. Maybe a run outside. That'd be nice. But nope. Oh, whenever you see a pass, it's either into the flat, it seems like half the time, or it's a screen pass. Maybe now and then you'll get a drag route. But as far as posts, hitches, curls, slants, corner out, anything like that, forget it. You don't see those. It just drives me freaking nuts, man. It really does. Be creative, Sean. Come on. That's what we freaking hired you for, man. Another one here from Michael. He says, good evening, Ed Muhammad on Rocky Mountain. Thank you, man. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Michael.
We're trying to keep you guys' spirits lifted, but I was so down in the dumps today after the game. I literally started drinking. Because I was like, I said before this game, Mohammed, I'm like, the Broncos, this is a must win for the Broncos. A lot of people were telling me I was crazy. Oh, it's not a must win. I'm like, yeah, it is. For the division, the Chargers have already beaten all 3 division rivals. That was their first 3 games of the year. They had the Chiefs week 1, Raiders last week, us this week. They're 3-0 in the division. It's going to be really hard for the KC Chiefs with, it looks like they're going to win tonight. It looks like they're going to beat the Giants. The Raiders lost again today to who did they play today? I can't remember. Commanders. They lost to them. The Chiefs are going to be 2-1 tonight. The the Chiefs are 1-2. Raiders are 1-2, and the Broncos are now 1-2, and the Chargers are 3-0, record wise, and they're 3-0 in the division. It's going to be hard as shit to catch the Chargers.
Eddie, it's kind of crazy, but while the game was going on, you seen how many injured Chargers there were?
Yep.
O-line, running back, all these players started dropping, and they still ended up beating us.
And what the other scary part of it is? They were blowing up a run game. They were getting in the backfield to Bo Nix. Bo Nix was just really good at getting rid of the ball and just, not taking sacks. But guess what, Muhammad? They did that without Khalil Mack, the best pass rusher. By the time we play them again, I think we play the Chargers again, week 18, Khalil's going to be back. And the Chargers, it might be possible they might still be trying to fight for the division, But if they keep going the way they're going, they might not have to fight for the division. Maybe they rest their starters, kind of like the Chiefs did last year. Yep. But if we have to face the Chargers again, Week 18, their starters and Khalil Mack's out there after what we've seen them do today, I have no faith that we're going to beat the Chargers this year. Like, they did that without their best pass rusher. It's insane. So, but we got another comment here from Jeremiah M. Thank you, man. He's like, Chargers fan here, but good game, guys. Bo is the future there. Needs a different system for sure. A different play caller. I'm glad our division is on top. I'm glad our division is on the up and up again. Oh, yeah. I appreciate your comment, man. And, I don't really I don't have a problem with Charger fans. I hate Chief fans because they're annoying. I don't like the Chiefs. I hated them since I was a kid. Raiders, I know a lot of Bronco fans hate the Raiders. I really don't care much for them because they've been garbage my entire life. But yeah, we appreciate it. And I do believe Bo's the future, but Sean Payton is a problem. Like, I was bashing Jim Harbaugh all offseason. I'm like, yeah, Jim Harbaugh got to a Super Bowl, but he couldn't win it. Sean Payton at least got a ring. I should have just kept my damn mouth shut because Sean Payton is 6-1 against John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh. And I don't think he's going to beat him this year. Like I said, if Khalil Mack is back and they're still playing their starters, I see us getting swept by the Chargers again this year. Mom, what are your thoughts to Jeremiah here?
Hey, Jeremiah, thanks for your comment. I mean, honestly, Eddie, we have to admit the Chargers were better. The team, the offense was better. Their coaching was way better than our coaching. So yeah, it was a good game. It was pretty close. I thought we should have won in the end, but yeah, I would say, I hate the Raiders. I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of the Chargers, but
No.
Raiders would be like a hated team for me. So, but thanks for your comment. Thanks for stopping by.
But that's the problem. Like, the Broncos could have very easily won this game if Sean Payton was just, had more motion. His play calling was a little more clear. Maybe he be more aggressive on first and second down. Had the team more ready to go and not committing penalties. Or maybe if he goes for it on the fourth down, maybe we keep the ball and we keep moving the chains. And, I can't blame the Chargers. They played great today. Jim Harbaugh had them going good. Like, he's a good coach. And Sean Payton, he was just like, nah. It was like he was like, I don't really want this game. Yeah, your defense was stepping up most of that. I mean, I kind of understand why he punted on that fourth down, fourth and short. But it was like, dude, you know what your defense is capable of. Like, the bend don't break. I understand that. But, with the penalties that was going on, the defense, they got a few stops. They're probably getting tired because they've been out there a lot more because of your crappy play calling and the offense getting off the field really quick. Go for it. Like, you were up by 7 at that point. So I don't know, man. I can't. So, but we got another one here from Michael. He says, thanks Charger fan. Oh yeah, we did. We appreciate him. And thanks for your comment, Michael. We got another one here from Michael. He's like, running back RJ Harvey with 2 yards and 4. Yeah. Like, drive to the guy in the second round. We don't even use him, just like Evan Ingram. It's so different. You say the guy's going to be a joker, you're going to use him, and we hardly ever see him get anything. So, but what are your thoughts here, Mohammed?
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because every time I saw Omarion Hampton, I was like, I hope he doesn't go off on us because we passed on him. We didn't, he was right there. We just, I don't know. I think.
Let's take a look here. I already said RJ Harvey had 2 yards today rushing. Let's see, rushing. Yeah, he had 2 attempts for 2 yards. RJ Harvey did. Let's take a look at Omarion Hampton. Had 19 attempts, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. He had under 4 yards to carry, but he ran for 70.
Yep.
And we could have drafted Omarion Hampton. He was sitting right there. Yep. We pass on him, we take Barron, and guess what? Very next pick, Chargers take it. Or 2 picks later, the Chargers take it. I think that's going to be – and I'm not sitting here bashing on Harvey, but it's like Sean Payton just ain't using him. Maybe he would have done the same thing with Hampton. Maybe he drafts him and he just doesn't use him.
I mean, Eddie, like, if our O-line is trash, though, I mean, does it really matter who – we could have Ashton Jeanty back there. I mean, The O line is just not, it's not working.
No, it's not. It's not good at all. At least not today. It wasn't. So last week they were graded as one of the, I think, like the third best line last week, the Broncos line against the Colts. But it was like the Colts didn't even have their star pass rusher out there. I mean, you the Chargers, but the Chargers have a little bit better of a defensive line wise than the Colts do, in my opinion. So, but yeah, we got another one here from a dog food. He's like, I agree, get rid of that bit. Who are you talking about, Sean? Like Muhammad said, they're not going to get rid of him. I think they should too. Like, especially if they take away the play calling from him, I'd say just get rid of him at that point. He's literally just a figurehead at that point if you take away play calling. That's the whole point of why we brought Sean Payton in, was a play call.
There will at least give him another year, Eddie. Even if it goes bad, I could see him giving him another year, and then
You're probably right.
The end of the next season, if he's still, they might go ahead and pull the plug. But
all that money they paid him and him getting rid of Russ, but that's the other thing too. They might get rid of him faster because he got rid of Russ and took that massive dead cap hit. Even though he was right on that, I agree. Like, going with Bo Nix over Russell Wilson was a good idea, but it's like, it doesn't matter if it was the right idea. The matter of fact, the Walton Penner Group had to eat $85 million that they could not use, unserviceable money. Nobody wants to lose any kind of money, let alone $85 million. And the fact that Sean Payton's play calling is atrocious and him having the team ready is atrocious. So it could happen. I don't know. I don't think it's very likely, but I'm not going to say it couldn't happen during the season. Next up, we got Tommy here. He's like, the best is when we wreck the. Oh, wait, what? I'm sorry. The best is when we wreck the team on first and second down, and then give up a 15-yard or didn't give up 15 yards on a third down.
Talking about defense, Eddie.
Okay,
like the Hufungus stuff.
Yeah, it's like, you'll stop them on freaking defense on first and second down. You'll have them at like first and 10. Then it'll be like second and 9. Then you'll have like third and 9 or third and 11 or maybe third and 7, and then
stupid penalty.
And it's either a penalty or it's like you leave somebody wide open over the middle of the field. It's like, you have perfect coverage on the first 2 downs. Mm-hmm. But then on the third down, it's like, okay, we got to just stop them here, and then we get the ball back to the offense. And the defense is like, nah, we're going to leave somebody screaming wide open across the middle.
Eddie, honestly, Eddie, I know we've been talking about this, but the idea of us, maybe it's too early, or maybe we're overreacting, but the idea of us getting rid of the coach and getting a new coach, I probably will stop watching football. I'm tired. I cannot go through this again, Eddie.
I don't blame you. It would depend on who they brought in.
Yeah, I thought we were done with that stuff. We finally got our quarterback, our coach, and stuff, and now we're in a crossroads.
Well, Sean Payton's got to get better at play calling. He's got to add more motion. He's got to get more creative. He's got to do something different. Like, what he's doing now is not working. And like I said, the owners and the fans are not going to deal with this much longer. I'm telling you that right now. They won't. We put too much time. The Walton Penner Group has invested too much time, money, and energy into this team for crap like this to keep happening. So, let's see. We got another one here from Tommy. He says, the O-line sucks. Penalties are penalties like crazy. They ruined the last drive. True. I mean, I can't argue with it, but at the same time, it's like, we're always told this is a bend but don't break defense. But here's the thing. Whenever you're trying to, like, a bend don't break defense is great early in the game. Like the first drive, Chargers were marching down the field. They got inside the red zone. What did the Broncos do? They shut the door and held them to 3. Okay, 3 points. Now, at the end, now people are going to say, well, that 3 points really could have mattered at the end of the game. Yes, but you know what? That's why you play the whole game. That's why you have 4 quarters to play a whole game. Whenever you need that stop, and I'm not talking about just a touchdown. Like, even the second to last drive for the Chargers, they needed a touchdown to tie the damn game. And what happened? They marched right down the field and got the touchdown. That bend but don't break defense doesn't matter Like that 3 points that they got at the beginning of the game shouldn't have mattered. If they would have stopped them on their touchdown drive to tie the game, oh wait, I'm sorry, no, that would have put them up 20. I'm sorry, that put them up 20. If they would have stopped them, on their second to last drive, where the Chargers went up 20-17, I believe it was, 20-17. Then the Chargers, they're still down 13-17. The offense has to do something, of course. And that 3 points at the end of the game wouldn't have mattered. Like, they could have marched on the field. The defense could have been, not break on that last drive. The Chargers would have had to score a touchdown there to win, and maybe they don't. But instead, the last drive for the Broncos, or the last drive for the Chargers, the last drive of the game, all they needed was 3 points because they were tied 20-20 because they got that one touchdown. Very easily, they could have, not gave them that touchdown, and then we're talking about a completely different ball game here. We didn't have to worry about Chargers marching down on this defense and the defense bending but not breaking because they couldn't even bend on that last drive. They had to stop them in order to win the game. So and the penalties are crazy, and that's all on Sean Payton. I'm sick to death of people saying, well, Bo Nix would have, not overthrown or underthrew that receiver. We could have won. Yeah, well, Sean Payton would have had this team ready and had a more disciplined team where they didn't have so many damn penalties for over 100 yards. We probably would have won the game. We gave the Chargers 100 yards today, free, because of penalties. Maybe that's the reason why they won by 3. So, but got another one here from Michael Ronquillo. Head coach Jim Harbaugh has a record of 6 wins, 1 loss. Yeah, I saw that stat earlier, Michael. He does. And I think that trend's going to continue this year. But what are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Eddie, I didn't know about this. That kind of sucks. Sean Payton has some work to do because you're gonna see him twice every year, as long as you were in the Broncos. So this got to change.
Yeah. We got one here from Michael Ronquillo. He's like talking to Tommy in the chat. He said Tyler Noah Hufanga also had that dumb penalty. Tommy was agreeing with him, saying, yeah, there was a stupid 25 yards we gave up. Michael Ronquillo again, he said, I wanted wide receiver Mbuka. I didn't really want a receiver. I either wanted a tight end or a running back, preferably a running back in the first round. Nobody and their mama expected the Broncos to take a corner in round 1. Everybody was thinking either it was going to be a tight end or most likely a running back.
They could have traded back too, Eddie. They could have traded back, gotten more picks.
Yeah, they could have took Hampton. They could have took Loveland. Mm-hmm. They could have took a multitude of tight ends and running backs. I'm not saying I hate Harvey, but I'm just saying they could have. They could have traded back and stockpiled more picks. Mm-hmm. But no, they took a corner, a position they were already really good in last year. And now I understand Riley Moss was hurt, but you still had Chris Abrams-Drain, who was playing great. By the way, who had a pick against Justin Herbert last year. Yep. And Riley Moss was getting cooked today. Why don't you let Chris Abrams-Drain and let him have a shot?
Yeah,
you didn't need another corner. Yeah. You needed a tight end or running back in round 1. Somebody that was actually really, really good and could stay healthy. RJ Harvey is just not getting enough touches, and Evan Ingram's hurt, and you ain't even using him. So maybe drafting a tight end really wouldn't have mattered, or a freaking running back because they weren't going to use him anyway. So, we got another chat here from Tommy. He says, we battled hard and we were ahead most of the game, but we just can't bring it home. No. That's what I'm saying. This defense and Vance Joseph cannot get a stop when it matters. Like I said, early in the game, you bend, you didn't break. They went down, they got a field goal after driving. But when you needed a stop, when this team needs a stop, when this defense needs a stop, and I'm not talking about a stop hold them to a field goal. I'm talking about keeping them out of field goal range and out of the end zone. They can't do it. They can't. They couldn't do it with Daniel Jones last week, and they couldn't do it against Justin Herbert this week. And honestly, Cam Ward looked good against this defense, and that should be sounding alarm bells off for everybody. A rookie in his first start on the road with a team that literally doesn't have that much talent. This defense made him look good.
Yep. So, his receivers just kept dropping the ball, Eddie. If that wasn't the case, we'll be talking about an 0-3 start for the Broncos.
Yep. But that's the thing. Broncos don't commit any penalties today, guess what? They freaking, they win the game. If the defense doesn't let us down last week, guess what? We win the game. But that's what happens in the NFL. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. If Cam Ward's receivers don't drop the ball, maybe they beat the Broncos in week 1. And if that would have happened, like if we would have started this season 0-3, Muhammad, like people would have been freaking the hell out. Like you lost to 2 of the worst teams on your schedule this year, and the Titans and Colts. You lost to one of them. I mean, maybe the Colts ain't as bad as we think they are. Maybe they're better than what we think they are because they're actually doing pretty good this year. But still, like the only other team I can think of that's probably as bad, maybe not worse than the Colts or the Titans, but maybe as bad. No, I mean that we play this year, and that's the Giants.
Okay.
Maybe the Raiders. But they have a good head coach, so I can't really put too much on them. Tommy, this team is bad. The penalties make us look so yeah, we've been saying that for this entire pod. And who's that on, Tommy? That's on Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. The coach that was supposed to come in here and clean this team up, it's on him. I don't want to hear about players dropping passes. I don't want to hear about Bo Nix overthrowing people. I don't want to hear about the defense, Riley Moss giving up a big play. Like, all that stuff still could have happened today. The Broncos still could have walked away with the win if we didn't have 100 yards and damn penalties. If you would have cut that in half, you would have had 50 yards and penalties, you would have won this game. Mm-hmm. You would have. Plain and simple. You would have won this game if you would have cut your penalty yardage in half. Even with all the drop passes and all the overthrows Bo Nix had. And the bad defensive play calling from Sean Payton and VJ and Riley Moss playing like crap. You still could have got the win if you didn't commit so many penalties. So coaching. I feel like I've been saying that freaking for years, man. Michael Ronquillo, the Denver Broncos fourth quarter collapse is also a problem too. Again, I can't argue with you, but that's on the coaching. Like I said, Vance Joseph, it looks like he's trying to play preventative defense every play. Like he doesn't want to get his corners up into the receiver spaces and jam them off the line. Sean Payton, too cute. It's like screen, run, first and second down, and whenever it's third and forever, then that's when we want to throw the ball down the field. So, but what are your thoughts here, Mohammed, to his Michael Ronquillo's comment here?
We keep losing in the fourth quarter. It's the truth. We have a lead. We can't keep the lead. We just give it up on the fourth quarter. And the sad part is last week it was 29-28, 1 point. This week, 23-20, 3 points. It's going to come back. Just when you look at it, it's so close that it just pisses you off. Like if it was like a blowout where it's like 38-15 or 20, then you'd be like, well, we just lost. But when it's that close, even worse.
And that's the thing. That was one of the things I was saying earlier today, too, is like the Broncos have to win this game. This is a must win for the Broncos if they want to win the division. Like, I don't want to be in the wild card round, dude. We've already lost to the Colts. And with the way the Colts are looking, I wouldn't put it past them if they win their division or make the playoffs. And,
I think they will.
And then they're going to have the tiebreaker over us.
Yep.
And then what? That can keep us out of the freaking playoffs. Like, we thought this, like, we were told all year this team was really good, that they could win the division. That was Sean Payton's exact words. Our goal is to win the damn division. You could have took a major step forward today in doing that, and you didn't. So, granted, yes, I understand. You still got the Chargers at the end of the year. You still got the Chiefs twice. You still got the Raiders twice. But the Chargers are the dogs in the division now. Like, they're the ones you got to beat, it seems like, to get to win the division. And we're already 1 down on them, and they're 3 up in the division on everybody. So, good luck with winning the division after that crap show. Everyone but maybe Dobbins has the same problem. Gets touched, and then they go down. I mean, he did have a few nice runs today. I will give him that. He'll bounce off runner or defenders sometimes. He's not like, who was it years ago that we watched that they would literally get touched and they would go down. Who was that, Muhammad? Do you remember? Was it Javante after the injury? I think maybe.
Yeah, Toronto was like, yeah,
He would get like he would literally get touched and boom down.
yeah.
Dobbins, I mean, he's had a bunch of injuries too, but there's sometimes he'll bounce off a runner or something. So
I mean, he's a good signing for us, Eddie.
he had 70 yards today.
Yeah, so Dobbins is actually playing well. If the O line would help him a little bit, he'd probably get 100 yards.
Yeah, because I think what was it, the first quarter or first half, one of those two, he had like -7 yards rushing because the offensive line was not holding up at all. We had another one from here from Tommy. Franklin had a few nice runs. Yeah, there was that one screen pass where it looked like it was going to be a loss, and Franklin somehow got around it and he picked up like 4 yards. But that's what I'm saying.
Himself today, though, Eddie. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either, but he did make that play. Like, I will give him that one play where, like I said, it was a screen pass. There was guys all around him in the backfield. He somehow got loose and got a field, and he picked up like 4 or 5 yards. So that was a damn good play. I like that. We got another one here from Michael Ronquillo. He says the Broncos don't know how to win games. You're not lying, my friend.
Yep.
No, they could win these games. I have to say they could. They just don't know how to close the damn things out. Like they don't know how to just keep their foot on the neck of the team and just keep them down. They just like, nah, we're up. We got this. And then this shit happens. Penalties, Sean Payton's play calling, VJ's bend but don't break defense lets us down. It's always something. And it's driving me nuts. Let's get through these last couple of comments here. Let's see. Jesus Christ, dude.
You have a lot of comments?
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of them. Trying to, let's see. Preseason. I'm not going to be able to post all these up, guys, because I'm trying to hurry up and get through these because it's getting really late for Muhammad on the East Coast. I think it's already, what is it, 12:39 there? It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Tommy says all of these different YouTube channels are the Broncos fan support groups. Yeah, that is true. You know, we got to get on here and express our opinions and get our frustrations out because it's the only thing we can do to keep ourselves sane, it seems like. Broncos fan from Tucson, Arizona. Broncos are terrible. I can't talk, man. I'm so freaking tired. Michael Ronquillo. Bo Nix still has problems in the pocket. Yeah. They said Bo Nix ain't blameless in this. He still has some issues, his footwork, his overthrows. But again, you can have had all that stuff today. You slash those freaking penalties in half by, from 100 to 50, you win the game. Bo Nix is still learning. Like, I'm not giving him a pass because he needs to get better, but he's still learning.
Yeah.
And 100 yards and penalties with a quarterback that's still learning, yeah, you're probably going to lose. And the fact we were even in this game, it should be a testament to how well Bo Nix was actually playing. 2 sacks, no interceptions. Justin Herbert, the guy that's been in the league for what, 6 years, 6 sacks and 1 interception. Granted, he had 300 yards, but highly likely you win no more games. Drifty Prods, he says, highly unlikely you win more games. Maybe, I don't know. I can't say. Like, the Titans and Colts, like I said, were probably the easiest teams. The Bengals will probably be an easy team. Granted, they still have Jamar Chase and, T. Higgins, but they don't have Joe Burrow. I would think that would be an easy game, but I'm not going to sit here and say that because I thought the Colts with Daniel Jones was going to be an easy game. Trying to think who else. The Giants, I can't even say that's going to be an easy game because it looks like Jackson Dart got pulled, or Russell Wilson got pulled. Jackson Dart got put in right around halftime today for the Giants. So Jackson Dart might be the starter from here on out. Michael Ronquillo, Sean Payton never has less than 7 losses in his head coaching career. Yeah, that's true. But 7, I'm sorry, anything less than, I'm putting it in his words. He said that his goal this year was win the division. If they don't win the division, even if they make the playoffs as a wild card team, if they don't win the division, this season's a failure. This is based on what Sean Payton told us. The goal is to win the division. And you had a major chance to really achieve that goal today, or at least push towards that goal by beating the Chargers, which you had them beat. And then you let your dumbass defensive coordinator, like, he just gives it up. And then you, as the head coach, Sean Payton, said all this.
It's a perfect opportunity for us. Look at the Chiefs are down for us to win the division. It's not going to be like this for the next couple of years. We don't know what might happen, but it's a perfect opportunity. The Chargers just took it. We did not.
I'm gonna post this one up because I want to touch on this. He's like, Sean Payton just has he's just like Bill Belichick. Both have rings because of their quarterbacks, no other reason.
You look like that, Eddie.
I'm starting to feel that way. I really am. I'm really starting to feel like Drew Brees made Sean Payton. I said for years that was not the case. They made each other. I was always saying that Drew Brees needed Sean Payton and Sean Payton needed Drew Brees. But I was starting to think Sean Payton really desperately needed Drew Brees. Because the shit I'm seeing now is just flat out ridiculous. It's like he still thinks he's got Drew Brees back there without an arm. Bo Nix has an arm. Use it. And he can run. He's mobile.
Exactly. He can run.
He's not Drew Brees. It's just a statue. Bo Nix can run. They don't sign anybody because they're still paying Russ. No, they signed Greenlaw. They signed Ingram. They signed Hufanga. But now you can say they signed injury-prone players because that's all they could afford. But Ingram at least played the first 2 games, training camp and preseason. Hufanga's been playing through all of it. Greenlaw literally hasn't done nothing since the beginning of training camp. Like, they just need to stop signing these injury-prone players. I'd rather you just take a young guy in the draft and just build him or something rather than go sign an injury-prone player. Another one here, he says, you'll beat the Bengals. They are one of 6 teams in the league who are the worst. I can't sit there and say that. I really can't, because I thought the Colts were going to be that team. And like I said earlier, like even the Titans, dude, the Cam Ward, a rookie quarterback, played really well against his defense. I don't think this defense is as good as people say it is. It's not. And that's what scares me. Jake Browning, yeah, he might be a backup QB, but Cam Ward was a freaking rookie quarterback in his first start on the road and still played well. Daniel Jones is like on his 14, and before the season, everybody was saying he was a backup QB. He was torching this Broncos defense. All you have to do is have a solid run game, and you can beat this Broncos defense. It's not that hard. Let's see. Another one here from Michael. Thanks for being respectful in the chat. Oh, okay. So he's a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Yeah, dude. I'm not going to sit here and say the Broncos are going to win that game next week. I'm not going to sit here and say the Bengals are going to win. I honestly have no idea. I have very little hope for the Broncos next week. Let's just put it that way.
Eddie, it's going to depend on which team shows up on Monday. So,
yep. Like I said, I'm not picking either one right now, but it would not surprise me if the Bengals win. It really wouldn't at this point. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, he says, I'm not respectable, I'm honest. No, you're like, it's being respectable. Like, you could have been somewhat respectable. In fact, the Broncos are just freaking, they're terrible. Like, yeah. Sean Payton's bad. Like, I think I'm being disrespectful. So, because I don't think Sean Payton's really all that what we thought he was. Denver is better than Cincy. Maybe, maybe not. I can't say. I know Cincy doesn't have a great defense, but the Broncos don't look like they have a great defense at this point. But Denver is a dreadful team. The problem with the Broncos ownership, deep wallets, no understanding of. I don't think it's that. I think they're learning. Like, it's not really not having knowledge of football or understanding football for the owners of the Broncos. It's more of they're new, they're learning, they'll get better. I just think, like, and don't get me wrong, everybody was like, this is a perfect hire for the Broncos when we hired Sean Payton. Everybody thought that. No one thought this was going to turn out the way it did with Sean Payton and the Broncos. Like, losing, to the Chargers for the division, all this stuff, the horrible play calling. No one really thought it was going to be like this. We really didn't. Nobody did. They think Peyton is the answer because he has a ring. They don't know Sean only has a ring because of Drew. Again, I can't really say much. I'm starting to lean that way. I can tell you that. I'm starting to lean it was more Drew than it was Peyton down in New Orleans. Because
honestly, Eddie, I want to say that we could be overreacting. We don't know what the future is going to hold. Maybe the Broncos will turn around. Maybe Sean Payton will turn around, and it's going to be okay. So we don't really know. I guess only time will tell, Eddie.
Well, then, if he's going to turn around, you know the three things he's got to get better at. He needs to get better at play calling. He needs to get these penalties to go away, and he needs to hire a new defensive coordinator. You do those three things, maybe this team could be good. I don't trust Vance Joseph. I don't want him here anymore.
Yeah, I just don't think he's gonna. If he's pulling the plug on Vance Joseph, I don't think he'll do it now, Eddie. I think he'll wait until the end of the season. That's what I think.
That's fine. I don't care if he does it during the season or after the season. Vance Joseph needs to go. You got too much talent on this defense to keep doing this crap, giving up scores like this. It's ridiculous. One here from Michael. He's like, Broncos ownership cares about the Broncos on and off the field. Not the football. Yeah. The owners do everything they can. I mean, for God's sake, the last game of 2022, the first game I went to here in Denver, like they literally put new freaking grass down on the field for a meaningless game against the Chargers.
Yeah, I remember.
They're literally building the new stadium to where they can bring in more revenue and money for the city, so they can host a draft, they can host a Super Bowl here. They're putting they're building a new training facility. They're willing to spend money and do things, but it's Sean Payton's play calling. And again, no one would have thought Sean Payton's play calling would have been this bad when we hired him. We hired him because we thought, okay, he's going to fix the team and he's going to make this offense score points. And in some aspects, he's done that. But it's like now it's just like he's like, whatever. I'm just going to keep being too cute and, doing these two. I mean, the Broncos scored 20 in week 1. They scored 20 this week. They scored 28 last week. I think they average about 20 points a game.
Yep.
And that's down from last year. Last year, they were averaging 24.5 points a game. So they're down 4 points on offense so far this year. And why is that? Because of Sean Payton's play calling and penalties. They cared. They would have a desire to win. They do. The ownership does. Like, you don't spend that kind of money on a pointless game, building a new stadium, training camp, new training facilities, trying to bring players in to, win games. It's the coaching. Like, the owners can do only so much. Like you said, they need to stay out of the coaching decisions, which they do. They're not like Jerry Jones or David Tepper of the Panthers, where they're they're the ones making the draft picks. That's George Payton and Sean Payton. Sean Payton, it's the owner's job to make sure the team has everything it needs and make sure the stadium's up to date, all that stuff, and basically supply the money. It's up to the GM and the front office to find the players to put on this team and pay them what they're worth. And it's a coach's job to get the best out of the players and, call the plays on the field. Sean Payton's not doing a very good job of that. Neither is BJ. So, let's see. Oh, shoot. God dang, dude. There's a lot of freaking, god dang it, my freaking screen. Football is all coaching. You can easily make the argument the Broncos have the worst coach in their division. That is not a recipe for I don't know. Like, you could say the same thing about Pete Carroll. Like, Pete Carroll lost today too. He looked atrocious. Granted, the Raiders don't really have a great defense, but I think the Raiders had a bunch of penalties today too. But I'm not going to say Sean's the worst, but he sure is not an elite head coach at this point. Kind of like we thought we were getting with Russ. Good game, bolt up, clean up those penalties. It's easier said than done. I wish we could, Addison, but Sean's got to get his head out of his ass. Not just with the penalties, but with the play calling too. Russell Wilson with 2 interceptions. Okay, Michael came in here and said Russell Wilson had 2 interceptions. Last time I looked at the score, it was it was 22-6 Kansas City. I heard they brought Jackson Dart in. So maybe that's the end of the Russell Wilson debacle there in New York and probably possibly his career too.
I hope so. I hope he retires.
The Los Angeles Chargers haven't won anything yet. That's true. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, it does matter. The Chargers are in first place in the division, but they haven't won shit their entire career or their entire existence. So I don't hate the Chargers. Like I said in the past, like during all them years the Chiefs are winning, I'm like, I hope the Chargers win it because I hate seeing the Chiefs up there every year. But even if you guys do win the division and make the playoffs, you're going to get bounced in the first round again. Like, I don't trust, like, I shouldn't say that, but Justin Herbert chokes in the playoffs. Jim Harbaugh chokes in the playoffs. Like, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Like, it'd be nice to see the Chargers, even though they're in our division. You know, I would like to see them do something, but until you prove me otherwise, they're still chokers. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to see. Oh, Michael Ronquillo posted in here. He's like, where's wide receiver Pat Bryant? I've been asking that same question about him, Ingram, Harvey. You know, it's like Sean Payton gets these guys and he's not even utilizing them.
He kind of forgets that they exist, Eddie. That's what happens.
I guess. It just freaking, it's ridiculous. But that's all the comments we got tonight. Any final thoughts, Muhammad, before we get out of here tonight?
I don't know, Eddie. Like we keep saying all these things, and I know we're kind of freaking out about it. This is still week 3. There's still a lot of football to play. We should just see what happens. See what Sean Payton is what changes he's gonna make. See if Vance Joseph is gonna improve. I have my doubts, as you do, but I think we should give it some time and see what happens. It's still, like I said, it's still too early. Hopefully, we can bounce back and see some good football from the Broncos.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know what more, like, something's got to change. Bottom line, something has got to change. If I'm already on the ropes with Sean Payton as is, but if we see another atrocious offensive, not really output, but play calling next week, I'm really going to start panicking because the Bengals honestly have probably one of the worst, if not the worst defense in the league, even with Trey Hendrickson. Their star quarterback is out for the next 3 months. Like, you should beat the Bengals. There's no excuse why you shouldn't. If you lose again, it doesn't matter how you lose. If it's a last-second field goal where they win by 1, or if it's a last-second field goal where they win by 3, changes need to start happening. Bad. Like, this defense should be able to shut down Jake Browning. This offense should be able to score at least 25 points against this defense. They're going to against next week.
It's going to be a Monday Night Football too, so the whole nation is going to be watching. So please, Broncos, don't embarrass us, please.
That's all I can say. But that's it for us tonight, guys. If you guys could, again, please like, comment, subscribe on this video. Also, hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. And like I said, share this video with your family and friends. Get them over here. Get them subscribed to the channel so that way we can build our following. And maybe, down the road, we could do more videos, throughout the week or do little, snippets here and there. But we really need to get some more subscribers in here. So, but that's it for us. We will talk to you guys next week. Broncos' next game is next Monday here in Denver. Monday Night Football against the Bengals. So we'll let we haven't decided if we're going to go live Monday night or whenever. It'll probably be sometime throughout the week that week because it's going to be too late after that game. So, but again, like, comment, subscribe on this video, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.